Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Self-Powered Podcast. I'm your host Mandy, and I'm really excited to hang out with you again today. Jim Rohn said, "Become a millionaire not for the $1 million, but for what it will make of you to achieve it." In other words, the beauty is not in making your first million. The beauty is rather in who you have to become on your way to that goal. Now, do you ever think about who you become on your way to achieving a goal? You see, it's easy to focus on the end result, but we often forget we spend a lot more time on the journey than we do at the finish line. When we focus solely on the outcome, we can miss the most important part of the goal, and that is who we become in the process. And secondly, we might spend a lot of years in misery, ultimately chasing a smokescreen. I've learned this the hard way. I used to set goals based purely on the outcome, thinking that once I achieved them, I'd finally be happy. For example, I did a diploma in quality engineering because I thought it would give me job security. It's something practical that will always be needed across many industries. So I really thought that was the clever decision to make. But I never stopped to ask myself, and this might sound obvious to you, but to me it wasn't back then, would I actually enjoy the work or the process of getting there? Although I finished, I hated the studies and I've never worked in that field one day. The mistake that people often make is that they make goals based on the outcome, so what they think they should do or what will make others proud of them. The mistake is they don't ask themselves if they'll actually enjoy the road there or if the process will align with who they want to become. When we do this, we risk reaching the goal and then realizing it didn't bring us the fulfillment we expected. The satisfaction of getting there is fleeting because we didn't connect with the process. Take my experience with the quality engineering diploma. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of weekends sacrificed. And although I was proud that I have achieved it and that I pushed through, at the end of the day, I can't really say that it's made me into someone better. And also, I didn't enjoy the process. It was just hard. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind working hard. In fact, I really enjoy it. But looking back at that, it wasn't the kind of hard work that was fulfilling. I'm sure you know the difference as well. It wasn't that kind of hard work that made me feel satisfied with who I was becoming and what I was doing. Back then, I thought it was a practical and safe choice for job security, but I didn't consider how I felt about the work itself. I ignored or frankly just didn't know my true passion yet, which was immersing myself fully into personal development and of course to help others create a better life for themselves. And that's when I realized it's not enough to chase goals that sound good on paper. If you're not enjoying the path, it's hard to stay motivated and it might lead to disappointment. And that's why aligning your goals with what excites you every day or most of the days is really key. In contrast to quality engineering and frankly all the many other things that I've done before, when I started coaching, it felt different. It didn't really matter how long it took because I was in it for the long haul. It was like there was no alternative anymore, and I absolutely loved that. And don't get me wrong, it's not just rainbows and peaches and flowers or whatever you call it. I've had to live outside of my comfort zone for the past few years, and although it has been uncomfortable so many times, every challenge I've faced has brought me closer to the person I want to become. I've always loved personal development and having meaningful conversations with like-minded people, and now I get to do that every day. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't tough days. There are many moments I feel exhausted, and so much of my work happens behind the scenes. And that is often draining. I'm often quite clueless of how to market myself or how to run a business. But even on those days, I still love the reason why I'm doing it. And that's what keeps me going forward. Over time, my mindset around setting goals has really changed and evolved a lot. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is how little time we actually have in a day. And we need to get so clear on what is really important and be disciplined enough to do less. Now, what I mean by that is it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we must do everything and that chasing every opportunity that comes our way is a good one. But that leaves us with little time to focus on what truly matters in the long run. I used to say yes to almost everything, thinking more opportunities meant more success. But now, I'm starting to do the exact opposite. Slowly, I'm removing things from my life that I don't enjoy or that don't add value to the bigger picture. Now, I know it can be hard to let go of something that you've invested a lot of time into. You might ask yourself how you should let go of an old goal that you intuitively know no longer serves you. I know how hard it can be to let go of something you've invested a lot of time into. But it's not always about making an all or nothing decision overnight. We often think we need to take a massive plunge, but sometimes it's better to transition gradually. If you feel stuck in a goal that no longer fulfills you, you can start something new while slowly phasing out the old as the new venture gains momentum. I'm currently in that process myself. I have a few hard decisions ahead of me this year, and while I know those changes are coming, I don't have to make them today. Instead, I can put things into place to make the transition smoother. Even if you can't shift immediately, you can start gaining clarity and working toward a future that feels more aligned. Now, how do you know that you're on the right track or not? You might say, I don't really enjoy the journey that much. Even though I believe in the goal, I don't get up every morning with a spring in my step and happy to tackle the day. If that's the case, if you really like your goal and you're struggling to enjoy the journey, it's helpful to ask yourself, even if the process is tough, am I proud of who I'm becoming through this journey? For example, public speaking is something I personally don't enjoy, but every time I face that discomfort, I grow in courage and confidence. So it's hard, but those are qualities that I truly value and that I know are worth developing. So when you can find value in what you're becoming, even the most difficult steps in the journey become more meaningful. Another powerful question to ask is, why am I doing this? Connecting to your deeper purpose can make a world of a difference. For example, maybe you're learning a skill you don't love, like understanding numbers or finance. But what if that knowledge is essential to growing a business that could change lives? When you focus on the bigger picture, like reaching your ultimate mission or supporting your community, it can make those smaller, less enjoyable tasks much more bearable. But of course, if you can't find any joy or meaning in what you're doing, maybe it's time to step back and reevaluate your goals. Maybe you've set them based on external pressure, societal expectations, or what seems normal. And if you're not connecting to the process, it could be a sign that the goal is not aligned with who you are, and it might be worth reconsidering. The last thing you want is to achieve something and realize it didn't bring you the fulfillment, or that you've wasted years of your life pursuing something that wasn't truly for you. At the end of the day, the pursuit of your goals should be a journey you can look back on and feel proud of. So remember, don't just chase goals to reach an end result. Embrace the process, find joy in your growth, and make sure your goals are truly aligned with who you want to become. In my opinion, that's the real success, regardless of the outcome. That's it from me for today. I hope that this topic resonated with you. If it did, please consider giving it a like. If you think there's someone else who should hear it, please do not hesitate to share. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button. It will really help me to grow my channel. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And as always, remember to stay powered by progress. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye.